Hello and welcome to the ESG Mena podcast. I'm your host, Madaline Dunn, and today I'm joined by Jessica Lohmann, who is the founder of Ethical Brand Marketing. So Jessica, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to begin with, it would be great to sort of hear first a little bit about yourself and ethical brand marketing and sort of the vision and mission behind it.
Sure. Yeah, I've been marketing for a long time. I got my degree in 1991, and I first was working in corporate, the normal corporate grind that many entrepreneurs have experienced. And in 2013, I got out of the rat race and became self-employed. And in 2018, I was first a freelancing creative, offering various services. And in 2018, I founded Ethical Brand Marketing to help eco-friendly brands, freelancing creatives, to develop an ethical marketing strategy and to implement it, because just doing the strategy isn't enough. And because basically I see, especially in the creative world, a lot of freelancers are struggling because they don't resonate with marketing. And because marketing does have the reputation to be manipulative and persuasive just to drive the sale, which harms our planet, it harms people. There are so many different problems that marketing has caused, or actually I should say the abuse of marketing, because marketing itself is not evil, right? But because it has this horrible reputation, a lot of companies like the eco-friendly startups, they have problems marketing and standing out in a market that is evolving rapidly, very, very rapidly. And the same with creatives. So my vision actually for ethical brand marketing is not only to help these people build up their business and market in a way that aligns with their values, in an ethical way that helps protect people and our planet, to help people make a conscious decision, but also to try to change the marketing industry as best I can. So I collaborate with many other people and organizations. Because we do have this problem with advertising and marketing all over the world. And it's not helping anyone. It's just causing more problems. So
Absolutely. And I mean, just sort of going back to what you said about sort of, those, I guess, traditional sort of marketing strategies or marketing approaches. I was wondering if you could sort of dig a little bit deeper into that and sort of what you found to be the impact of these sort of, the usual ways that we approach marketing, or marketing professionals approach marketing, and sort of, how ethical marketing strategies can counteract that, and sort of some of the approaches that you employ as well with your clients.
Sure. To start out with, we have these urgency, scarcity tactics, also FOMO, the fear of missing out, these various tactics, even using charm prices. Now, charm prices are the $2.97, $4.99s, so that it looks like it's less expensive, like you're getting a bargain. And this has been used for over 100 years because it works. And so do urgency tactics. Hey, we only have 10 seats available in this program when we actually have 20 or 40 or whatever. These tactics, they help drive the sale, right? That, and in corporations, marketers are kind of forced to use these tactics in order to increase revenue, increase profits. And they don't even, I feel like they don't even think about it anymore. It's just always been done this way.
It's the done thing.
And, I mean, I have I have listened to many marketers over the years who will justify it by saying, well, we want to help people, so we have to kind of urge them. And yes, I understand that. Yes, you do want to help people, especially if you're in a service-based business. You absolutely want to help people. And you do kind of need to nudge them in a certain direction, but you don't have to push them. Like giving these, like, I really oppose these like fast action bonuses. If you make a decision to enroll in this 3,000 euro program by tomorrow, within 24 hours, you get this, extra, whatever it is, whether it's like a one-to-one consultation call or whatever. Because basically these fast action bonuses, they're already in the program anyway, right? I mean, the like bonuses themselves are parts of the program. And so, I feel like in order to make a discerned decision, I need time. Maybe because I'm a Libra and I need time to weigh my options. Like, really, do I need this? Do I need this product? Or can I repurpose another product? Whatever, you should see my jeans. Like, I have I have different layers, different steps that my jeans go through. Like, first to go out with, then to go walk the dog, and then to do gardening. Like, if I recycle my jeans at the end of that period, it's already been like 30 years. So I base my judgments on what to buy, what to enroll in, not only in how that will make me feel, because I don't need things to make me feel better personally, but I know a lot of people do. I know this is like a serious problem, like compulsive buying disorder and stuff like that. It is a serious psychological problem to feel that things, will help you feel better when actually they don't. That's been proven. But I feel if a company or if a service provider, or even a product manufacturer, if they allow the relationship to build between the customer and the service provider or whoever is selling the product or service, if they spend more time in fostering that relationship and building collaborations, like good partnerships, we can achieve so much more than just selling one product or selling one seat in a program, because that will not, it's short-term satisfaction. And that's what I don't want to foster. I can't, I feel like, I don't know. I think the universities now, they finally put people into the 4 Ps of marketing. Back then, when I studied marketing, it was only 4 Ps. People and the planet were not even an issue. Like, they weren't even discussed. And that kind of bothered me back then, but I didn't know why until like 10 years ago. So now I think the universities are now teaching people, but they're still not teaching about the planet and how marketing should help protect our planet and not cause any more problems.
And I guess, as you were saying, within that time, what's being taught in universities has changed, and we're in such a everything's always developing so fast, especially when it comes to sort of digital transformation. And there's so many things to bear in mind when it comes to thinking about ethical approaches within that digital transformation. And I was sort of, wondering if you could share your thoughts on how brands continue to market ethically when, you have big data, you have AI, social media, and all of the issues that come with that. Each platform's got its own issues, and I know that some brands have even decided to remove themselves entirely. I think Lush was one of the first companies to do that. So how do brands continue to ethically operate in this fast changing world?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just communication, like being honest and saying, hey, this is our strategy. This is our path. This is our supply chain from A to Z. We know that it's not perfect. We know we need to optimize this one section of our supply chain, or, we're looking into new tools that protect your data instead of stealing it. And this is the next phase that we're going into, and we should be done by whenever, like Q3 2024 or whatever. Like if they show and communicate how they're improving and what they need to improve, I think that helps a lot. I see that. I don't see it enough. But when I do see it, I'm like, yes. It's just a matter of respect and communicating. Yeah. Because, humans have a hard time communicating anyway. So, and I think, the companies are used to like hiding things. Like people don't need to know everything. And that's true. They don't need to know everything, not all the inside garbage. But I feel that we do deserve answers as consumers, and just so that we can make our decision, right? A discerned decision. And so when I'm trying to think of, one example was Pala Eyewear, and they're based in the UK. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but it's kind of like a 1-for-1 type of like buy one, give one type of plan. And so they give eyeglasses, like when somebody buys a pair, then they gift eyeglasses to a few countries in Africa. I can't remember which ones, but they were talking about the plastic in the frames of the glasses that was the next thing that they wanted to work on. And and it was nice how they communicated it. And I'm trying to think of other examples, but Lush was quite open as to why they're no longer on Instagram. And I think it's going to be a lot more. Like there's so much weirdness going on in the social media world right now. And like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like I can make predictions and I have my own thoughts, but, anything goes, right. And same with AI. Like I think we have to worry about more about what could happen with AI, not
right.
necessarily like the images or the text or whatever. I don't think anybody has to worry about their jobs as creatives. However, the sources that needs to definitely be a thing that we need to keep an eye on, right? Yeah.
And sort of going back to what you said about consumers being able to make informed choices and sort of know what they're buying, I was wondering what your thoughts are on sort of the evolving sort of greenwashing regulations that are sort of emerging, the tightening, and sort of how you see them shaping the way that businesses operate. Yeah.
I probably have too high hopes for the directives that are coming, right? That the EU is working on them right now. The UK has the Green Claims Initiative as well. Like I said, high expectations when I have a feeling that I personally will not be satisfied. I hate to say it, but what I'd like to see is the enforcement of it. And what I'm kind of scared of that I will see as far as enforcement is concerned, because this happens a lot where I live in Germany a lot. Like when a new law comes in, like this happened with the GDPR, then small lawyers will go to the small businesses and say, you're not compliant, and then immediately send them, what do you call it? Like not a warning, but a bill, like you have to pay now. And so I feel this will happen with small companies, but the big companies who are actually doing the major greenwashing, they've got the money. It doesn't matter if they pay. So what? It's not going to be enough. It's not, whether the money will go into helping to protect nature, that's another question. So I feel that this may hurt some small businesses and not the big ones. I hope and pray that it's the other way around, just because the big businesses will know about it and they'll know how to get around it. They will hire their greenwashing copywriters to just make the few tweaks that they need to make, and then they're done. But but that said, every step in this direction is a good step. We need to do it. This actually gives consumers, it's planting the seed for the mass consumer. And what a couple of years ago, I was at a sustainability conference in Cologne, and it was like a sustainability fashion seminar at the time. And the lady who was speaking said she did a research study with a bunch of colleagues, and they went around in Cologne and asked people how they heard about slow fashion. And they said in store. And that shocked me. In store? Like, how does that happen? Well, it's the big brands like H&M, right? So they do have a huge responsibility, and they are informing the mass consumer, which is good, in a manipulative way, in a very negative way. However, they're planting the seeds so that the consumer understands what's going on a little bit better. Right. In a way that the small business owners can't do. But yeah, right. So.
And just sort of lastly, I guess, drawing on that with questions over the impact of, those sort of greenwashing regulations, how do we disrupt sort of the traditional marketing approaches, and how do we share knowledge of ethical marketing, on a worldwide basis, and sort of, how do we spread that knowledge and that information? And are you involved in any sort of knowledge sharing activities related to that as well?
Yes. As I said before, like collaboration, I think that is one of the most powerful tools that we can use. There are so many organizations out there working towards the same goal and doing all different things, like, to get there and not reaching the goals. So there are several ethical marketing communities out there. Like, I'm involved in the Ethical Move. And, we have a community, we talk about it, we develop strategies together, and then we teach our clients about it, and then they teach their clients about it. So it does have that exponential effect. And in the past, like, I got involved in 2018, and over the past 2 years, I've seen 2 other communities pop up. I'm seeing like all these, creatives for future, creatives for climate communities, and which is also about ethical marketing, like protecting your data, as well as decreasing the CO2 on your website, and all that stuff it's all connected. So what I really want to see is all these communities come together, somehow come together. And then, like XR, Extinction Rebellion, they went to Cannes for the, what is it called? The Advertising Cannes Awards. Like, they disrupt that way. Like, they will go and protest in front of the building. And I used to be involved in XR, but I realized that's not where my sweet spot is. But we need that too, but in a respectful way. Like, I feel if we're throwing milk on cheese at a supermarket, pouring milk, or throwing mashed potatoes at a Monet, which I've seen people do to, vegans. I'm also vegan, which I've seen fellow vegans do to disrupt and inform. I feel that has a very negative impact. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help the animals. It doesn't help our planet, nor our cause at all. So I feel that as marketers, we have to remain respectful in our communication, assertive, but respectful. Like, and informative. So if we can do that in a collective way, we can still be disruptive. We can still protest in front of the buildings and I feel that's a very good thing. We can write our letters. I feel that helps too. Petitions. Yeah. Like those, they don't really help, but it still spreads awareness. So, I'm for every type of campaign that remains respectful and, has this collaborative spirit, because I think we can't do it alone. So, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, yeah, thank you so much, Jessica. And we really appreciate you sort of coming on the podcast and sharing your insights. It's been great chatting.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime. And for anybody who wants to, market their business, please think about the customer, think about the client, and do it ethically. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you, Madaline.